Hey guys, MCU Collector here with video number 3 in the Hasbro Marvel Legends series X-Men Wave 4 Caliban Build-A-Figure. Now, originally I was going to do these figures in order in which they are placed on the back of the package. So normally the third one would have been the Weapon X, but I think too many people want to see the Jubilee figure. So I went ahead and I'm going to do this one before I do the Weapon X, and then I will resume back into the order because I also want to just get this figure out of the package because I'm very excited for it. So also in this video, we'll go over the articulation, take a close look at the figure, all of that good stuff. Then we'll also compare it to the old Build-A-Figure, if that was the Toys R Us exclusive X-Men wave, which that one should technically, I guess, be X-Men Wave 1, but it wasn't considered Wave 1. Wave 1 was the Juggernaut wave, of course, but I am going to do a quick comparison. But anyway, looking at the package, you can see awesome. She comes with the largest piece, Build-A-Figure piece, the torso. She has an additional interchangeable head. She has some sunglasses there, and then really nice artwork on the side of the package. Looks great on the back of the package here. Just like the others, we get the actual comic art style on the back of the package. Let's take a look at that bio. Okay, Jubilee. The mutant Jubilee generates pyrotechnic energy blasts that she calls fireworks, capable of blinding enemies or causing serious damage. So pretty cool little power set that she has. There is the UPC for you guys. There is the figure, and one thing I noticed, there's no effect pieces, so it's actually a good thing, I guess, that I have this one here. But let's get this figure open and take a closer look. Okay, and here is the Jubilee figure out of the package, and what an awesome looking figure that this is. There are some reused parts to it, and there are some new things to it. So first off, she comes with the torso to Caliban. No big deal. We'll look at Caliban together in its own video after I review through all of the figures in the wave. She also comes with an interchangeable head that does not have sunglasses on it and has the bubblegum chewing thing. We'll take a closer look at that here shortly. And then I don't know if it's supposed to be like this, but I got 2 pairs of extra sunglasses, one over the other inside the package, and I don't know if that's supposed to be the case because they look to be the same, even though one's kind of bent in a little bit more, but that could be because it was in there. I don't know if she's supposed to come with 2, so you guys let me know in the comments below if you guys have it, if you guys seen, or if you guys know that it's supposed to come with 2, because that's not something that I was aware of. Interestingly enough, I tried to pull this one off of the one that the head that comes with it already, and I could not, and it looks like it's glued. I don't want to force it, so I'm going to be careful about that. Same with the bubble gun. I tried to pull it out a little bit, but I don't want to force it too much, so I don't know if that's going to be removable. So let's get a closer look at the figure first, then we'll go over the articulation and compare it to the previous one. Okay, so here is a close-up look at the extra additional interchangeable head before I switch it. I won't be show it on the figure, so I just want to kind of show it here. So it does look really good. It looks to be very, very similar. The hair is the same. She has the gold earrings on this one as well. It's just you get that bubblegum effect. And it looks like it can be pulled out, but I think it's glued in, so I don't want to try and take it out and then kind of break the figure. But here are the 2 sunglasses. You can see they're both the same, whereas this one looks to be just a little bit curved together already. So whether that's supposed to be that way or if it's just warped that way, I'm not completely sure. So like this, like so, and then like so. But again, they do look to be the exact same. Now let's take a closer look at the figure. Now overall, I think the figure does look good. Oh, the yellow jacket on the yellow background. I don't know how much that's going to work. But the head does look a little bit big because this figure is very, very small. Like if you look at her torso, that is the tiniest torso I've ever seen before on any figure. So it just goes, you can see like the hips, and then it just goes into a tiny, tiny torso. And maybe she was drawn that way, I'm not sure, but it's a lot wider than even the teenage body that they use on the previous Build-A-Figure Jubilee. So it's very small, but it is all new sculpt because you can see the sculpted line of the shirt, and then she has the X-Men logo or something. It does... should be an X-Men logo. It's not exactly an X there on her shirt, but it's the same. Now this jacket is the same jacket that was on the previous figure. It's just a brighter yellow color. The sleeves are new because it's folded up at the elbow, and you can see like a strap that's part of the jacket. It's not color, it's not painted or anything, but it's there. Her arms are the blue of the glove, but the skin tone is painted on. Whoops. The skin tone is painted on. You can kind of see that blue kind of bleed through that skin tone there. It's a little much worse on the left arm, but you can definitely see it on the right arm as well. These gloves look to be new because we don't have cuffs or anything that's actually a sculpted glove. We've seen these hands before. Actually, it looks like there's sculpted lines in the hands as part of gloves, so these might be new. I'll have to compare these hands to the previous one as we go through the comparison, but these are all new. She's got the denim shorts, black belt, the silver buckle is painted on there, and then the belt holder part of the denim shorts painted blue, so that looks good. The cuff part is that lighter color because it's the inside of the denim, so I'm glad that Hasbro took that step to do. And then we get these boots here, so you can see a strap. There's no paint or anything on there, but there's some nice sculpted detail in those boots. So overall, a very good looking figure. Now let's zoom out and take a look at the articulation. Okay, so let's go over the articulation of the figure, but first I am going to do a quick measurement because I know some of you guys like to see when there's a measurement. She looks to be standing at about 5 3/4. I know it looks closer to 6 probably here on camera, but she stands about 5 3/4 inch high as I measured it prior to. Now let's go over the articulation. So her head, she can look all the way down, which is crazy and completely unnatural and looks very weird from an aerial view, but it's good that you can get her to look down. You can get her to look all the way up, and that jacket does not get in the way of that neck articulation. Shoulders can go up that far high. You get a full rotation of single jointed elbow, and we get a swivel at the elbow. It's unfortunate that with a new sculpt that we wouldn't get a double jointed elbow, but even still with these teenage bodies it's a lot thinner, so they're going to go for the aesthetic more than that articulation, and I'm okay with that in this case, even though, you know, having that double jointed arm on the Black Widow Nebula figure, it shows that how much we really needed it, because I thought it really worked out great. So the elbow can bend in that much. On this wrist, we get a roll of the dice hinge, and of course swivels. On this one, we get the opposite hinge there. The diaphragm joint, you get a little bit of side-to-side pivot. You kind of have to work it around. As far as getting her to crunch forward, not so much, but she can move back a little bit. It's just the forward motion is just really not there much for this figure. A little bit. We get a waist swivel in there. Legs can go out that far apart. She can't get forward that much. Not a whole lot back, and that jacket's going to really get in the way anyway. You get an upper thigh cut right at the jeans, the shorts. A double jointed knee, which looks pretty good. So that works well. You get a boot cut, so swivel right at that boot. The foot hinges all the way down, hinges all the way up, and we do get a nice ankle pivot. So great articulation there. So that works out. Now let's check out the comparison with the older Build-A-Figure. Actually, you know what? Let's see this with the glasses put on. So that looks pretty good. I like the way that looks. Let's get a zoomed in look on that. And then you can just take that off and see if this rounded one, it's very pliable, so I'm sure these are the same. It's just kind of bent in a little bit. Yeah, see, it's the same. I'm not sure why I got two. Maybe it just, mine came packaged with two. I'm not really sure. Looking at the two head sculpts, I kind of like the one with the bubblegum look. On this one, I kind of wish you can take these glasses off, but again, it looks like it's glued on there. So I don't want to tempt it. It doesn't come off. If it's not glued on, it does not come off easily. So we're going to leave that alone. But I do kind of like the look without the bubblegum. One thing I will note, though, that the head does look a little big on the figure because, again, the body is so small and the head is actually quite large. It looks a little bit funny to me from far away, but it's not terrible. I do still like it. Now let's do the comparison. Okay, here are the two Jubilee figures together. This one is just a hair shorter. I know it looks a lot shorter here on the video, but it's really in the way that they're standing and everything, and her hair makes her sit a little bit higher. But they are similar in size. You can see the jacket, again, they are the same jacket, just a different shade of yellow, but they are the same. Now, this Jubilee figure was a very expensive one to get because the Storm figure was so hard to find and they were very limited. Not a lot of Toys R Us has got them, or didn't get a lot, or scalpers got them, this and that. It was a very difficult wave to get. There is a KO of this figure that sells for I think $39 on eBay. I did have that at one time. That is a fantastic figure. The head sculpt is slightly different and actually looks a little bit better, but I do have this legit one thanks to JBR3 Collector. He traded me his legit Jubilee for my KO, and I paid him how much the KO one cost. So it was an awesome deal that I couldn't pass up. I really appreciate it, Joey. Thank you. So looking at the Jubilees together, they do look good. Now this one, it's tough because she doesn't come with any effects, but the figure looks so good. I'm okay that it didn't come with effects, but then you could always use these ones if you so chose or would choose to do. Even though it doesn't really fit on the hand as nicely. Let me see. Yeah, it doesn't really fit as nicely on there, even though it really is the same. It's the same hand, so you'd be able to get that one on there. But the main difference would be this one on the left hand came with the fist. This one on the left hand is that same kind of open hand, so you can't really use the same effect. Actually, you could, but it doesn't fit snug on there. It fits a little loose, but you could use that if you really wanted to. I'm trying to figure out why, for whatever reason. There it goes. There it sits in their hand. So you could use the same effects. That would work out great. Now the next question would be, does the head, can you swap heads on this figure? And the answer is going to be no, because this ball peg is very big. This ball peg is very, very small. So this is not going to fit on there. You can see it's just going to wobble around and fall. This one is not going to fit on that ball. There's no way. Maybe you can heat it up and try to do it that way like the Steve Rogers head, but I don't think that's going to work because that ball peg is a lot bigger. So no swapping of the heads, unfortunately. So if you weren't able to get this previous Jubilee figure, I think you'll be okay now. This is the look that most people wanted anyway, that Jim Lee look from the cartoon and the comics in the 90s. So this is the one that everybody really wanted. If you want, this is still a good figure. It's just a different look for her based on a different time period. In the comics, this was more of a modern look, whereas this is that classic 90s Jim Lee look. But I know this is the one everyone wants, and it is a fantastic figure that really does not disappoint, aside from the fact that it does not come with effects. Unfortunately, that's the case. I would have preferred maybe not to have the bubblegum head and had effects. It's cool, I like it, but it's not necessary, I feel. I think effects would really kind of go a long way. But again, you could always use effects that come with different figures and that sort of thing. But it is what it is. Solid figure. That's my review. You guys let me know if you have any questions down in the comments below. Hit that thumbs up if you guys like the video. Subscribe if you haven't already done so. And as always, thank you for watching.